Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are going to take a look at our very first regular animal model, and this time it is going to be an African White Rhino statue, as you can see right here. And this is actually a statue from a company that I just recently promoted in a news video that I did say just started up, and it is, as you can see down here in the corner, Memory Museum. And this is their very first initial release. You can see here on the front of the box that there are actually two different versions. There is this grayish color, and then there's a slightly different brownish color as far as the two different rhinos go. I do believe that the sculpts are the same and everything's the same, just the color is somewhat different. You can also see that it is a limited edition, and it is sculpted by Sean Cooper, and it is also in 1/15th scale. I really love the image right here on the front. Shows such a beautiful background kind of backdrop of Africa, and you got the very cool image of the rhinos right there in front. The appearance of the entire box is really high quality, but this image here on the front in general is just so beautiful and really sets the tone for the statue itself. There's not really too much else going on the box, but here on the side you can see a very cool, very light image of the rhino. Again, and it does say Memory Museum Collection and everything right there. And then on the other side of the box, you again have that same image of the rhino, and then down here you get a little bit of information right there on the rhinoceros itself. So without further ado, let's break this out of the box and look at it. So here is the rhino itself, and something that is very cool that you do get with the rhino actually is some rhinoceros droppings that you get in a package here, a little baggie that is included with this set. So that is a very cool, very realistic touch on the part of Memory Museum. At first glance, I will say that this rhino is just gorgeous looking. Everything about this is super high quality, really overall beautiful. The entire presentation of this is actually quite incredible to me. It really is very high quality. I like the underside here of the base has kind of like a marble type of an appearance, and then you've got this little bit of earth here with the rhinoceros standing on top of it. And they've actually utilized something that I had mentioned in a previous Allosaurus review, and the fact that to connect the rhinoceros to the base, let me pull them off there, there's actually magnets in the bottom of the feet of the rhino and also inside the base, so then when you slap him on there, he sticks on perfectly and does not fall. The rhino is also really stable on there, shockingly. Like you can see I'm shaking everything here by wobbling him. So the utilization of the magnets is really brilliant and a very cool way to get your animal connected to the base. I really like that a lot. But anyway, without further ado, let's get a closer look at the rhino and the base itself. So starting up here at the head of the rhinoceros, you can see that this has incredible amounts of detail and sculpt. I really love the detailing and all the very minute creases in the skin all around the eye. Really helps to elaborate that area of the eye, and the eye is painted perfectly with a very nice black, has a beautiful gloss to it, making it look very realistic and very alive. You can see all sorts of different tones of color all throughout the head as well. You can see variations of like black, grays, and even little hints of like a brownish type of a color, really giving this a very realistic appearance as far as skin tone goes. When you look up here on the horns look great as well. Beautifully painted, and again, very realistically painted. Everything just honestly looks very high quality and really beautiful overall. And if you look down here in the mouth and the nostril area, again, it's loaded with sculpt work, all kinds of creases and wrinkling of the skin, but you can also see it has a very realistic looking kind of a glossy wet look, really giving you the idea of this being a real living animal. I think that was such a very cool choice in the part of Memory Museum, and they have utilized that as well perfectly, just like they did with the magnets in the feet. It really looks fantastic. Even looking inside the nostrils, it really looks very real to me. As we start to move up here into the head, you can again pick up on all kinds of wrinkling and creases all over in the skin. Lots of nice large hanging skin in the throat area on the underside. The ears are sculpted perfectly. Look how beautiful they look. And they are a slightly different shade of color than you see on the rest of the body. So that is very cool as well to really make the ears pop and jump out at you. Look how incredible the sculpt and paint is on this. It is really breathtaking in my opinion. And then as you run up here onto the top of the back, you can really see that big nice rhinoceros hump and get a great idea of the bone structure of the animal, but you can also really see just how beautiful the overall skin texture is. It really looks incredible, and the way it's painted is so realistic. It's just honestly mind-blowing to me how nice this is. Lots of nice wrinkling in the skin here. You can see all kinds of little bumps and stuff all over the skin, giving it a very rough look like you would see on a real rhinoceros. As you come down, you can really get an idea of the musculature of the legs of the rhino and the very nice bone structure. It does not look shrink-wrapped in any way. It really looks beautiful. The feet look very nice also, and it has kind of like a dirty appearance. The closer you get to the bottom of the feet, the much dirtier it gets and the much darker it looks, and that's pretty much exactly what you would see on a real living rhinoceros. As you move along the animal into the stomach, you can really see how chunky and well fed this white rhino is. Nice skin texture, beautiful detailing all over. Nice creases in the skin here behind this front leg, and also back here in front of the rear leg. You can pick up on the rib cage there as I'm turning it. Really nicely protruding from the skin there in very realistic fashion. And again, you can just look at it all over and really see the very nice bone structure. It really feels like there are bones underneath the animal here and making it look like it really is alive. Once again, some nice wrinkling and creases in the skin right here in front of this rear leg, and the very huge bulging muscles here in the rear leg are also very nicely defined. You can also really quite beautifully take note of the hip bones of the animal. And then you come down into the bottom of the leg and you again have that darker coloration around the feet, giving it that very dirty appearance. When you look around the back, you've got the very nice rhinoceros tail, some very nice creases in the skin and everything back here as well. And then looking at the opposing side, look how beautiful and majestic overall this really looks. It is absolutely beautiful. It's such a breathtaking work of art. It really, really is. Again, the very nice skin texture of the animal is really beautifully portrayed in the sculpt of this statue. You can again pick up on the incredible bone structure all over, and really getting close. Look how beautiful that skin texture truly is. You really can't notice it too well unless you get it up close and look at it in person. It's honestly beautiful in person. Nice hanging skin again in the throat area. Nice saggy skin in the chest as well. And the leg on this side looks very nice also. You can see all those little bumps and everything all over the skin of the animal again. Nice wrinkling of the skin behind this front leg as well. And really beautiful skin texture. I just honestly cannot stress how nice this looks as far as the overall appearance of the skin. The skin is sculpted so realistically and beautifully that it really blows my mind. And again, you can pick up on the rib cage there. Some more nice wrinkling of the skin here again. And there's the very nice large thigh muscles in the rear leg coming down. And again, picking up on the very nice bone structure of the animal, the beautifully dirty feet, and everything really all looks fantastic everywhere you look. The actual paint application of the rhino also is really beautiful. There are so many different slight variations of color all throughout, and it kind of has like a dry brushing of almost like a greenish color that's kind of been very lightly dry brushed over in certain areas, and it gives it such an incredibly beautiful and very realistic look. The paint on this is just top notch. And if you look at the base, the actual base with the earth here is kind of just a mixture of like dirt and earth in general, and then you've got some stones and everything, and you also can see the footprints of the rhinoceros there as well, and that is where you connect them to those magnets. It really looks very nice, beautifully sculpted and beautifully painted as well. Very realistic looking, and again the base itself has like this underside that's kind of got the appearance of like a marble type of a look, and it's very, very heavy, extremely heavy honestly. It really shocked me when I picked it up and realized how heavy it was. And then if you look at the underside, again, Paleocraft Memory Museum, sculpted by Sean Cooper, African White Rhino statue. It is a limited edition 1/15th scale. And you've also got these little rubber deals here on the bottom to make sure that it doesn't slide around or damage whatever you put it on. Very professionally done, and overall, absolutely beautiful. And if we actually break the rhino scat out, or the droppings, and take a look at it, it really looks very realistic, and it's beautifully painted as well, just like everything else is on this entire set, with a very nice Memory Museum underside there. It in general looks very real, and is such a cool set to this to really push it over the top when it comes to realism. As far as a size goes on our statue, for the length of the rhino from the tail to the tip of the horn, you are looking at about 10.5 inches, or about 20, just a little hair under 27 centimeters. And for a height, if we are looking at on the base, lift this up for you, you can see that it's about 5 3/4 inches, or about 14.5 centimeters. And if we go off of the base, you're now looking at about the 7-inch range, or about 18 centimeters. For the base itself on a length, you're looking at about 11 inches or about 28 centimeters for a length, and for a width, 6 3/4 inches or about 17 centimeters, somewhere in that range. That may not have been a perfect measurement, but it's about that. For a size comparison, there is our green Papo T-Rex buddy, and you can now see that this rhino could quite easily kill him with a nice horn through the throat, but this also should give you a pretty good idea that this rhino is actually really quite large, and in general the entire statue is really quite large, and our Papo Rex here being dwarfed quite a bit by the rhino helps to show that and really stress that point. So the initial release by Memory Museum is now in the books. You've got this unbelievable African white rhinoceros, and it is honestly just breathtaking in person. I've used that word a couple of times in this review, but I cannot stress that enough. This thing is truly unbelievable in person. It's really remarkable. The paint job on this is very realistic. It generally looks like a real living rhinoceros, and the paint job has been done so well that it really complements the overall sculpt and really makes the entire thing just look so unbelievably realistic. The sculpt in general is beautifully done as well. There's not a single area that I can think of that is missing any detail in any way, shape, or form. Everything when it comes to the overall sculpting of the skin texture to the movement of the animal, it is honestly all present, and it is all beautifully present. It is really, really well sculpted, and I am overall very impressed with just how incredibly nice the sculpt and paint application is on this white rhinoceros. The base is also really beautifully done and has a very realistic and kind of an artsy type of an appearance to it. And the underside of the base here with the kind of a marble type of an appearance really takes this to another level when it comes to its overall beauty aspect and really gives it a very museum-like appearance to it. And I really, really love this. The fact that it's actually quite heavy is also very impressive to me, and how stable it is. I love the use of the magnets when it comes to the feet and the base, connecting it to each other, because it doesn't look sloppy in any way. It's not like you have to connect it to a peg and maybe the foot doesn't go down all the way. There's no sloppiness at all. It really looks like it's just genuinely standing there, and on top of that, it's really beautifully stable. It really does not move. The magnets honestly work perfectly, and I love that use and that idea by using magnets in the feet and the base. It's really beautifully utilized here. They've perfected that easily, and it is a very cool addition to this already beautiful set. Also including the rhino droppings was another incredibly cool touch to also give this that extra bit of realism that I really, really love. And again, is something that helps to push this set over the top when it comes to just how unbelievably nice it is. I think Memory Museum absolutely knocked this straight out of the park with their very first release, and it in general is an absolutely amazing release. So they are definitely starting strong, and I can see Memory Museum continuing strong and really honestly becoming one of the leading statue makers when it comes to any type of an animal or prehistoric statue in the very near future, because this initial release has just completely blown me away. There's also another very cool thing that they've included when it comes to their statues. And if you look right here at this image, they have a relationship system. So it kind of gives you an idea of the different models that they'll be releasing, and it shows you in a way the different way that they are all related when it comes to the evolution of all these animal species. It's such a very cool addition to an already absolutely amazing set, and they really should be commended for something that's so cool just like this. This set overall is a 100% win, and something that I think anybody that is interested in any kind of an animal statue should definitely get on getting, because it is really, really awesome. And I believe the price for this is like around $160 or $170, and that's with free shipping. So for a big time statue like this, it's very heavy, really super well made, and absolutely beautiful overall. To be that cheap, that is really, really impressive, because if you are a collector like me that has purchased Chronicle collectible statues or Sideshow collectible statues in the past, you know just how expensive those get, or even Dam Toys or Iron Studios or Prime One Studios. You know how expensive those statues get, and they are way more than $160 or $170, and that's again with free shipping. So the price on this is just beautiful when it comes to a very high quality statue. So if anybody is out there considering this, trust me when I tell you that for that price, you are getting your money's worth and then some. This is really, really high quality and very beautiful. Trust me when I tell you that's actually quite the steal when it comes to this overall set. And now that I've seen this initial release from Memory Museum, I can't even begin to tell you just how much I am looking forward to all the other releases that they have and that they will be releasing. I believe the next one will be Smilodon. There's 2 different versions of that, so I am super excited for that, along with all the other releases that they currently have planned. And again, this statue, if this is telling me anything as far as what their future releases are going to be like, I am completely in love with Memory Museum. So if you do want to buy this White Rhino, I will link you in the description to both this and the other version if you would like the other version instead. Trust me, they're both awesome. So again, check the description, head right on over to the Memory Museum eBay store where you can pick this up for yourself. But before you do that, don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.